You spent months planning, counting down the days, and finally, you're standing at the cruise terminal with your suitcase in hand. The excitement is real until a staff member scans your documents, frowns, and says the words no traveler ever wants to hear: "I'm sorry, but you can't board today." Suddenly, your dream vacation is over before it even begins. This isn't just a rare horror story. In 2025, denied boarding is happening more often than most cruisers realize, and the reasons are more surprising and preventable than ever. Maybe it's a passport that expires a month too soon, a missing digital check-in, or a health form you didn't know you needed. Sometimes it's as simple as an unpaid balance or a new policy you never saw in the fine print. The stakes are high. You could lose your entire vacation investment, forfeit thousands of dollars, and scramble for a last-minute hotel while your ship sails away without you. Most people think that would never happen to me. But the truth is, even experienced cruisers are getting caught by new rules, stricter enforcement, and tech glitches that didn't exist a few years ago. Cruise lines are updating their policies fast, and what worked last year might get you turned away this year. If you want to avoid the heartbreak and hassle of being denied at the gangway, you need to know exactly what's changed, what to double-check, and how to outsmart the most common traps. Let's start with what's really at stake and why 2025 is a game changer for cruise boarding policies. By the time you finish this video, you'll have a clear step-by-step plan to avoid denied boarding, sidestep hidden fees, and protect your vacation investment, no matter which cruise line you choose. Whether you are a first-timer or a seasoned cruiser, you'll get the latest, most practical advice based on real 2025 policy updates from Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, MSC, Princess, and Celebrity. We've dug into the fine print, spoken with travelers who've been turned away, and tested every workaround ourselves. This isn't just a list of rules, it's a collection of proven hacks and smart moves that actually work in the real world, from digital check-in tricks to last-minute document fixes. You'll learn what most people miss, what the cruise lines won't always explain, and how to make sure you're never left stranded at the pier. But before we dive into the hacks, let's clarify which lines, ships, and ports these rules hit hardest in 2025. Not every cruise line or port plays by the same rules, and in 2025, the differences matter more than ever. Royal Caribbean and Carnival have cracked down on ID checks and payment deadlines, making it easier to get tripped up by a missing document or an unpaid balance. MSC and Norwegian are leading the way with stricter health and wellness screenings, so even a minor oversight can mean denied boarding. Major ports like Miami and Southampton have rolled out new biometric checks, while smaller ports may still be more forgiving. Families juggling kids' paperwork, solo travelers navigating digital check-ins, and guests with accessibility needs all face unique challenges under these new systems. We'll focus on the 6 biggest lines, but keep an eye out for special notes on Disney, Virgin, and luxury brands where the rules can shift. Now, let's break down the #1 reason cruisers are denied boarding and how to bulletproof your trip. It's shocking how many dream vacations end at the check-in desk because of a simple paperwork mistake. Imagine spending months planning, only to be told your passport is expired by a single day, or your name doesn't match the reservation exactly. In 2025, cruise lines are enforcing document rules more strictly than ever. Most travelers think a valid passport is all they need, but the reality is more complicated. Many lines now require your passport to be valid for at least 6 months beyond your return date, and even a minor typo, like a missing middle name or a mismatched initial, can get you turned away. Some ports, especially in Europe and Asia, now require e-visas or special travel authorizations, and these must be printed and presented at check-in. Relying on a driver's license for a closed-loop cruise used to be a safe bet, but that's no longer true for every itinerary or line. Royal Caribbean and Carnival, for example, have updated their policies to require stricter ID checks, and some ports won't accept anything less than a passport. Families face extra hurdles. Every child's documents must match the parent's information exactly, and some destinations require notarized consent forms if only one parent is traveling. Solo travelers and couples should double-check that all names on tickets, passports, and visas match letter for letter. The best move: use the State Department's online passport checker and confirm your cruise line's requirements at least 30 days before you sail. Don't assume last year's rules still apply. Policies change fast, and what worked before could get you denied now. Even with perfect paperwork, though, there's a new gotcha in 2025. Digital check-in fails. Picture this. You've got your documents ready, your bags are packed, and you're excited to board, only to find out your cruise app won't load, or your photo upload didn't go through. In 2025, digital check-in isn't just a convenience, it's a requirement for most major cruise lines. But with new tech comes new risks, and digital check-in failures are now one of the top reasons travelers are denied boarding. The most common mistake: waiting until the last minute to upload your passport, ID, or required selfie. If the system glitches or your internet drops, you could be left scrambling at the terminal with no way to prove you've completed the process. Savvy cruisers know to finish digital check-in at least 72 hours before departure, print out backup barcodes, and screenshot every confirmation screen just in case the app goes down or your phone battery dies. For older travelers or anyone who finds the tech overwhelming, it's smart to request an in-person check-in at least 48 hours before sailing. Many lines will accommodate accessibility needs if you call ahead, but you have to ask. If you run into trouble with the app, don't wait until you're at the port to fix it. Call the cruise line's support team as soon as you notice a problem. They can often reset your account or walk you through a workaround. The bottom line: don't let a tech hiccup ruin your trip. Get your digital check-in done early. Keep paper and digital backups, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Next, let's talk about the health and vaccine rules that catch even veteran cruisers off guard. Just when you thought health screenings were a thing of the past, 2025 has brought a new wave of wellness checks that can catch even the most prepared cruisers off guard. Many travelers assume that if they sailed last year, their vaccine card or health documents are still good. But cruise lines and ports are constantly updating their requirements. Policy says wellness checks are routine, but what actually happens can be much more involved. You might face random temperature scans at the terminal, be asked for proof of vaccination for certain destinations, or be handed a last-minute health questionnaire that must be filled out on the spot. Some lines, like MSC and Norwegian, are especially strict about these protocols, and a missing or outdated document can mean denied boarding, no exceptions. The most common mistake is assuming your 2024 vaccine card or digital record is still valid for 2025 sailings. Rules change quickly, and some itineraries now require updated boosters or specific vaccines, especially for international ports. Families need to pay extra attention, as children's vaccine requirements can differ from adults, and some destinations require additional paperwork for minors. If you have a chronic health condition or accessibility needs, it's smart to request a pre-boarding wellness check in advance so you're not caught off guard at the terminal. The pro move is to check the CDC vessel sanitation program and your cruise line's health FAQ about a week before you sail, since updates can happen at the last minute. Always bring both digital and paper copies of all your health documents, including vaccine cards, test results, and any required forms. Even if you breeze through the health checks, there is another hurdle waiting, one that can stop you cold at the pier if you're not careful. It's easy to assume that once you've paid your cruise fare, you're in the clear. But in 2025, that assumption can cost you your entire vacation. Imagine showing up at the terminal only to be told you can't board because of a $20 dispute over onboard credit or an overlooked drink package fee. Cruise lines are now flagging even the smallest unpaid balances, and they won't let you step on board until every cent is settled. Many travelers miss last-minute payment reminders, thinking paid in full means their account is closed. But new systems automatically check for outstanding gratuities, shore excursion fees, and pre-cruise purchases right up to embarkation. If you're a budget traveler, Be especially wary of nickel and dimed add-ons, things like Wi-Fi packages, specialty dining, or spa appointments that can trigger a hold on your account if not paid in advance. The smart move is to log into your cruise account 48 hours before sailing and review every charge no matter how small. Clear all balances and double-check for any pending payments or disputed charges. Using a credit card for your final payments is safer than a debit card, since credit cards process holds and refunds more quickly, reducing the risk of a last-minute snack. Don't let a minor oversight or a technical glitch with your payment method ruin your trip. Take a few minutes to confirm your account is truly settled before you leave for the port. Next up, the banned items list. What's new, what's confiscated, and what can get you denied at the gangway. You might think you know what's safe to pack, but in 2025, the list of banned items is longer and more surprising than ever before. Every year, cruise lines update their policies, and this year, even seasoned travelers are getting caught off guard. It's not just obvious things like weapons or alcohol. Now, everyday items like surge protectors, CBD products, and even certain snacks can get you stopped at security. Many cruisers still pack power strips or extension cords, not realizing that most lines, including Carnival, Norwegian, and MSC, have banned them due to fire risk. CBD oil and edibles, even if legal at home, are strictly prohibited and can lead to denied boarding or even legal trouble in some ports. Families need to be extra careful. Baby monitors, travel kettles, and bottle warmers are now flagged on several lines, and you may be asked to leave them behind or risk being turned away. For travelers with accessibility needs, medical devices like CPAP machines or portable oxygen are allowed, but you must get pre-approval from the cruise line's accessibility team at least 2 weeks before sailing. Don't assume you can talk your way out of it at the terminal. Security staff follow the list to the letter, and there's little room for exceptions. The smartest move is to check your cruise line's official 2025 banned items list before you pack. And if you have any doubts, email the accessibility or guest services team for written clearance. A quick check now can save you from a major headache and a ruined vacation later. But what if you're denied for something you didn't even know was a rule? Here's what to do next. It's the scenario no one wants to face. You've done everything you can, but you're still denied boarding at the pier. The first question on everyone's mind is, will I get my money back? Or am I just out thousands of dollars? Cruise line policies are clear. If you're denied for a policy violation, like missing documents or bringing a banned item, you're typically not entitled to a refund. However, what actually happens can vary. Some lines like Royal Caribbean and Princess may offer a partial credit or a future cruise voucher if the situation is borderline, or if you can prove you made a good faith effort to comply. Others, especially if the violation is clear-cut, will offer nothing. Norwegian, for example, is known for sticking closely to their no-refund policy, but there are rare exceptions if you escalate your case with documentation. The pro move is to know your cruise line's denied boarding compensation policy before you sail. These are usually buried in the FAQs or terms and conditions. For families, travel insurance can be a lifesaver, but only if your policy specifically covers denied boarding for reasons like illness or documentation errors. Always read the fine print and consider upgrading your coverage if you're traveling with kids or have complex travel plans. If you're denied, document everything at the pier. Take photos, save emails, and ask for a written reason for your denial. This paperwork can make a huge difference if you need to file an insurance claim or appeal to the cruise line later. But the best move is prevention. Let's recap the most overlooked gotchas and how to avoid them. It's easy to focus on the big stuff: passports, payments, health forms. But sometimes it's the smallest details that trip people up at the pier. Did you know that a simple typo in your name or a missing travel companion can be enough to get you denied boarding? One of the most common mistakes is mismatched information between your booking and your official documents. Maybe you used a nickname on your reservation, or your travel party's names don't match exactly across all forms. Another frequent oversight is forgetting to update emergency contact information or failing to add a required travel companion, especially for minors or guests with accessibility needs. Last-minute name changes, like after a marriage or divorce, can also cause issues if you don't notify the cruise line in advance. The pro move is to double-check every detail: names, dates of birth, relationships, and emergency contact, at least 72 hours before you sail. If you spot a mistake or something changes, don't wait. Use the cruise line's online chat or customer service portal to make corrections right away. Most lines can fix small errors quickly if you catch them before embarkation day. Solo travelers and groups should be extra careful, as missing or mismatched information is more common with multiple bookings. Taking a few minutes to review your details can save you from a last-minute disaster. Ready for the ultimate denied boarding prevention checklist? Let's take a quick pause. Have you ever had a close call at the cruise terminal, or do you know someone who's been denied boarding? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could be the tip that saves another traveler from a ruined vacation. And if these tips are helping you feel more prepared for your next cruise, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more cruise-saving secrets. Now let's get to the ultimate step-by-step denied boarding prevention checklist for 2025. If you want a foolproof way to avoid denied boarding in 2025, it all comes down to having a clear, step-by-step checklist and following it before you ever leave home. Start with your documents. Check that your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your return date, and that all names match exactly across your booking, passport, and any required visas. For families, double-check that children's documents and any necessary consent forms are in order, especially if only one parent is traveling. Solo travelers should confirm that emergency contacts are up to date and that all personal details are correct. Next, complete your digital check-in at least 72 hours before sailing. Upload all required photos and documents, print backup barcodes, and screenshot every confirmation. If you're not comfortable with the app or have accessibility needs, request an in-person check-in at least 48 hours before departure. For health and wellness, review your cruise line's latest health requirements and the CDC Vessel Sanitation Program updates about a week before you sail. Make sure you have digital and paper copies of all vaccine cards, test results, and health forms. Families should pay special attention to children's vaccine rules, which can differ from adults. When it comes to payments, log into your cruise account 48 hours before sailing and clear every balance, from gratuities to drink packages to shore excursions. Budget travelers should be especially careful with last-minute add-ons that can trigger holds. For banned items, review your line's 2025 list and remove anything questionable from your luggage. Families should leave baby monitors and travel kettles at home, while travelers with medical devices should email the accessibility team for written clearance at least 2 weeks in advance. Finally, do a last-minute confirmation of all travel party details, emergency contact, and any recent changes. Use the cruise line's online chat for quick fixes if you spot an error. Pro tip: download and print this checklist and use it 48 hours before you sail to catch anything you might have missed. But what if you want a cruise with the least risk of denied boarding? Here's how to choose the right line and ship. Not all cruise lines are created equal when it comes to boarding policies, and in 2025, the differences can make or break your vacation. If you're looking for the strictest document checks, Royal Caribbean and Carnival top the list. These lines are known for their no-nonsense approach. If your passport isn't valid for the required period, or if your name doesn't match exactly, you're likely to be turned away with little room for negotiation. Families and first-timers should be especially careful with these lines, as even minor paperwork issues can lead to denied boarding. MSC, on the other hand, is the strictest when it comes to health and wellness requirements. They're quick to enforce vaccine rules, health questionnaires, and last-minute screenings, so travelers with medical conditions or those who aren't up to date on vaccines should double-check every requirement before sailing. Norwegian Cruise Line and Princess are generally more flexible, especially with minor document errors or last-minute changes. They're often the best choice for solo travelers, those with accessibility needs, or anyone who values a little extra leeway. If you're a budget traveler or someone who likes to book at the last minute, these lines can be more forgiving, but it's still smart to confirm all details in advance. Disney and Virgin tend to be family-friendly and clear about the policies, but they do expect you to follow every rule to the letter. Great for organized travelers, but not for those who cut corners. Luxury lines like Regent, Viking, and Oceania offer more personalized service and may help resolve issues at the pier, but they also expect guests to be fully prepared. The bottom line, if you're risk-averse or have a complicated travel situation, choose a line with a reputation for flexibility and strong customer service. If you're a stickler for details and want a more predictable process, the stricter lines may suit you just fine. Let's wrap up with the #1 most overlooked denied boarding mistake and how to avoid it. Here's the truth that catches even the most prepared cruisers off guard. The single biggest reason people are denied boarding in 2025 isn't paperwork, payments, or even health forms. It's last-minute travel plan changes. Every year, thousands of travelers miss their cruise, not because of a forgotten document, but because they simply don't make it to the pier on time. Maybe it's a delayed flight, a traffic jam, or a missed connection. Some assume the ship will wait, but cruise lines are on tight schedules, and once the check-in window closes, the doors are locked. No exceptions, no refunds. This is a mistake that can cost you your entire vacation, and it's one of the easiest to prevent if you know what to do. The pro move is to always arrive in your port city at least one day before your cruise departs. It might seem like an extra expense, but it's nothing compared to the cost of missing your ship. Book a hotel near the terminal so you're not at the mercy of flight delays or early morning traffic. Set multiple alarms for embarkation day and double-check your boarding time. Some lines have staggered check-in slots, and arriving too late or even too early can cause problems. If you're traveling with kids, build in extra time for bathroom breaks, snacks, and the inevitable last-minute scramble for a missing toy or document. Families who plan for delays are far less likely to be caught off guard. For travelers with accessibility needs, it's smart to request an early boarding slot or special assistance in advance. Cruise lines are generally accommodating, but you need to let them know ahead of time. If you're using a mobility device or require extra time to get through security, ask for priority boarding and confirm your arrangements a few days before you sail. If you do find yourself running late, maybe your flight is delayed or your taxi gets stuck in traffic, call the cruise line immediately. Sometimes, if you act fast, they can help you rebook or hold your spot for a few extra minutes. But you have to communicate before the check-in window closes. Don't assume you can just show up and talk your way on board. Once the manifest is closed, there's nothing the staff at the pier can do. The bottom line is simple. Don't let a last-minute travel hiccup ruin your cruise. Arrive early, plan for the unexpected, and keep the cruise line's emergency number handy just in case. Outsmarting this one overlooked mistake can be the difference between a dream vacation and a very expensive lesson. Let's recap everything you need to know to cruise with confidence in 2025. Now you know exactly how to avoid every major denied boarding trap in 2025. From document mix-ups and digital check-in fails to health requirements, payment snags, and even the most overlooked last-minute travel mistakes. With these tips, you can protect your vacation investment, save yourself from stress at the pier, and cruise with real confidence, whether you're a first-timer, a family, a solo traveler, or a seasoned pro. Don't let a simple oversight or a new policy ruin your dream trip. If you want even more insight or advice, check out our playlist on Embarkation Day Hacks for step-by-step boarding strategies and What to Pack for 2025, so you're never caught off guard by the latest rules. Here's to smooth sailing and unforgettable adventures on your next cruise.